And we're getting to know Amir, but just as important, we're getting to know what he thinks about things that are going on in our world today and the headlines that we're looking at daily. And I think I heard you, Amir, when you were talking to Jack Hibbs, perhaps on his real life, and you said something to the effect that you were talking about ISIS and the fact that it's kind of hell on earth for a lot of people, and at least in a particular small region right now. During the Great Tribulation, the entire world is going to be a little bit as though it's under the control of ISIS. Explain yourself. I know what you mean. I'm not sure every listener knows what you mean.
Let me go back. A lot of people lately are, in light of what ISIS is doing, people are saying, well, religion is a problem. God is a problem. God says behead this and kill that and do all of that. And the first thing that people bring as an excuse to justify any horrific things done, or just to say that it's not different than any other things written in the Bible, is how Israel was instructed by God to enter their land and to leave no one alive. And it makes me angry when I hear that, because people don't know history. In fact, Israel was not called Israel, it was Canaan, and Canaan was inhabited by the Canaanites, who were one big ISIS. In fact, ISIS at least tried to please God. These people did not even do that. For them, every possible horrific thing that we can think of as atrocity was a habit and a practice. And this is why God wanted these things to be uprooted. This is why God wanted to raise the bar and the standard and to bring godly and God-fearing and godliness to the world. And so, when you see a terrorist, obviously you have to kill him. When you see all of that happening, you have to eradicate that. And so that's to start with. Now, the world, if you read carefully the book of Revelation, it speaks of how the Antichrist will behead anyone that is not following him. Now, we watch today the beheading done by ISIS, and we're so upheld, and we're so angry, and we're so, and most of the time it will be the non-believers, the humanistic, the very people who will hold human rights as their God, and they will be the first ones to oppose such thing. But guess what? The end times scriptures that are talking about the tribulation is talking about the fact that anyone who will not accept the mark of the beast will be beheaded. It speaks of horrible things that will be done to those who believe in Christ during the tribulation. And so I'm saying, if ISIS now is a small little terrorist group, can you imagine the whole world like that? If you're not going to be raptured, if you're not going to be with the Lord when that tribulation will take place? This is horrible. Think about it. The leader of the free world, the leader of the whole world, will be ordering the beheading of people.
The point is to get right with God right now while we have the opportunity.
Let's not forget how this happened either, because ISIS was created in the void that was created out of the weakness that we showed as the United States of our, with our military being pulled out, that void. And I believe that Islam's emboldened by what they've seen. So much for the idea that we have progressed as humans and that our intellect has suddenly overcome all the barbarian attitudes, because ISIS has proven that by advertising their barbarism, they are going to get more people to follow them and fund them. And I believe this is going to spread across Islam, both Sunni and Shia, and we're going to watch it exacerbate beyond where it is right now. And that's a frightening thought, but this is, as Amir said, a precursor to what Antichrist will do.
Amir, let me ask you a specific question here. Give me your thoughts on this. First of all, this nuclear deal with Iran. And my hunch is you didn't think in your lifetime, and I'm speaking for you, and I really shouldn't here, but let me speak for me. I didn't think in my lifetime I would see America really abandon Israel, which is what's going on as we speak anyway. And your thoughts on this nuclear deal with Iran, and part B of that question, please, is do you think that Israel will strike Iran either in 2015 or 16?
I was hoping that the rapture will come before that, but to be honest with you, I'm not surprised. No one should be surprised. We've seen that cold shoulder given to the allies of America in the Middle East and the warm embrace given to America's biggest enemies in the Middle East over the last few years. No wonder why the Saudis are outraged.
Yes.
In fact, they don't want to attend conference that is being summoned by the U.S. president, that you see that half of the Gulf states are not sending their leaders, and you see that Egypt is actually close ties with Russia and buying military equipment from France right now, because that distancing from the allies and embracing the enemy is something that is hitting in shock everyone, not only you and me. Now, seeing that, I think, with all the respect to the U.S. Decision regarding the Iranian nuclear deal, that Israel will not act all by itself. I think that right now we have secret negotiations between the Israelis and the Saudis and the other Gulf countries on what to do and how to do it. We've been engaged in a wonderful, great, and very successful cyber warfare in which we managed to push the Iranian nuclear program years back. If it wasn't for that, they would have had the bomb already.
That's right.
So, sometimes it's more effective to send an email than to send F-15s. Just one worm or one bug or one virus, and it does the work. We will work to stop the Iranian nuclear program from becoming a bomb, and I believe that what's going to shock the world is actually the events in Syria. With all the respect to Iran, according to the Bible, is not coming to attack Israel all by itself.
Yeah, that's right.
The Bible speaks of Iran being a part of an alliance that will come, alliance that will be led by Gog. My opinion, something that will happen in Syria is going to cause the alliance that is being prepared right now to finally come up against Israel.
Well,
and neither America nor Europe will come to help us because, for everyone, it seems hard to explain. Damascus is the sensitive point of everyone around this region.
Exactly what I was going to say.
A couple of years ago when the red line has been redrawn so many times, you saw how Russia would not allow anyone to go in and how Iran would not allow anyone to go in and how America was careful and the Europeans were careful not to go in. And there's something about Syria and the unbelievable amount of unconventional weapon that is stored underneath that city that nobody wants it to be revealed and nobody wants it to be taken. And the way I read my Bible, Damascus will cease from being a city. And Damascus is a huge city right now. It will cease from being a city. That means something catastrophic, something beyond our maybe even understanding is going to happen, and it will wipe out the whole place. Now, it may even be its own weapon that will explode.